Welcome back to the action. It's the Kazoo Grand Slam of Darts. The Professional Dance Corporation are coming to you live on Sky Sports from the great city of Wolverhampton. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the players. Would you please welcome the Queen of the Palace, Fallon Sherrock, and the reigning two-time champion of the world, it's Snakebite, Peter Wright.
No dance from Peter Wright. What's that about? Peter Wright and Fallon Sherrock meet again on this stage then. They were in the same group last year, were the two to make it out of the group. Fallon lost her opening group game to Peter Snakebite Wright, but she was sensational after that, going on to become the first female to ever make it to the quarterfinals of this competition, a quarterfinal which she would ultimately lose to Peter Wright. But what a week it was, arguably more impressive than a run at the World Championship a few years ago. Well, this is Peter Wright's 10th appearance at the Grand Slam. The reigning world champion has never won it, though. He's finished runner-up 3 times, most recently last year when he lost 16-8 to Gerwyn Price in the final. But those 3 final appearances have all come in the last 5 years. To talk you through what should be a brilliant group match between Peter Wright and Fallon Sherrock, here's Laura Turner and Mark Webster.
Yes, thank you, Emma. And it is the 4th meeting between the pair in the last 12 months. We had 2 in the Grand Slam last year, as you mentioned, that 3 in quarter-final, where Fallon averaged almost 100 over those 29 legs. But for Peter Wright, it's a quest to win his first Grand Slam. He's 3 times a runner-up. He went close last year, ran out of steam in that final against Gerwyn Price, but we'll be looking for another run here. As for Fallon, it's not been the best of 12 months. She's featured on the World Series on a number of occasions, only winning a couple of games, but she generally kicks into gear on the big stage. And as we said, that run to the quarterfinals last year. Could this be a catalyst for a bigger end to the year for Fallon Sherrock? Laura, you play on the women's series with it. That's been a bit of a struggle. She's finished 3rd overall this year, so not in the World Championship, but there were signs she played some good stuff in the last couple, and could she mount another challenge here? It's a tough group.
Yeah, it's a really, really tough group, as you say. And yeah, her season this year, it's been up and down. Haven't quite seen the calibre that she produced here last year.
96.
But Fallon does enjoy the stage. I've said it all along. She does seem to produce her best on the stage. She won just the 3 events, I think, over the course of the women's series, made a few finals as well. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But Peter Wright, current world champion, you know, it's a tough ask for anyone.
Yeah, and it's like we say, Fallon was in pot D, so you were technically getting your toughest game first. She's playing the seeded player, Peter Wright, number 2. But yeah, she was defeated 5-1 by Peter last year, but then went on to beat Mike De Decker. Then who can forget that game with Gabrielle Clemens, where she trailed 3-1, won the next 5 legs, finished on a 170, and it created that memorable run. But the group this year just doesn't feel as... It was a bit more favourable last year. This is a tough group, and if she is unsuccessful here, having to play Nathan Aspinall tomorrow just to keep yourself in the event. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but that just highlights what a tough group it is. Alan Suter has got the first points on the board. He beat Nathan earlier on. So a real tough group, and this tie just getting a little bit trickier for Fallon. She could get broken here. He's going to get more opportunities, but a bright start from Peter.
Yeah, absolutely. Just down to a double in 12, actually down to a double in 10.
58.
Bright start.
16.
Peter Wright to wrap up leg 1 against the darts. Yeah, really clinical from Peter Wright. 13 dart breaker throw. Lost the ball in the back room, but gets that break early here, and already plenty for Fallon to think about.
Yeah, I think the result between these two was 5-1 in favour of Peter Wright last year. But as you say, she improved going forward.
100.
Well, if she loses this game, and if you lose your first game, you just want that player to go and win the group 3 from 3, and then you get yourself try and win the next 2 and saves complications then. But at some point, you feel that legs will come into play in some of these groups. I said you can get through with 1 win, you can be eliminated on 2. It can all come down to legs. So it's only 1 breaker throw, but it's a bright start from Peter.
I've seen a couple of pre-match interviews that Peter's done, and he knows that if Fallon turns up, then he has got a game in his hands. Obviously, he thinks back to this event last year, and you know, he had some health issues that he mentioned, obviously, earlier on in the year, but now kind of feels better, brighter, and, as you say, making an absolute blinding start here at the moment.
Yeah, missed the World Series, didn't he? He'd have some surgery. Oh, I'd say missed the World Series. Missed the World Series down under. He took all of August off and he came back and won a European tour. He probably should have won the last one in Gibraltar as well. But his game's in fine fettle. He's got to the semis of the Grand Prix. I mean, he was blown away by Michael Van Gerwen there, but always a contender. We talk about the big 3, himself, Michael Van Gerwen, who's coming up next. Gerwyn Price, who made an impressive start, and this is impressive from Peter Wright. 2 maxes in the opening 2 legs.
121. He requires 61.
14 for tops to double his lead. Otherwise, there's an outside chance here for Sherrock.
105.
And you feel these are the chances that she's going to have to take.
Well, she's going to get a dart. Double 16 to break back. So lucky, and that was one of her strong points in that run last year, and when she beat Ted Evitz and Mensur Suljovic in that World Championship a few years ago. Her finishing was fantastic, but just missed there. And she is 2-0 down. Consolidates the break. Peter Wright making all the early running here.
Yeah, good switch. Good start to this third leg for Fallon Sherrock.
Saw Lisa Ashton make a good account of herself, losing out to Michael Smith 5-3 earlier on. She qualified by finishing top of the women's series. Fallon qualified by winning the inaugural Women's World Match Play. You were there, Laura. Lost the women she beat in the final. Eileen Graf actually beat you in the opening round, and it was a good run for Eileen, but proves how important that win was for Fallon, because had Lisa won it, he would have then gone to the second on the order of merit, which isn't Fallon, so she wouldn't have got a spot. So it was pivotal she won that Women's World Match Play, and that was, it's been the main highlight for her in 2022, you'd have to say.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, when Bo decided, when Fallon was in the Down Under World Series, she then came and joined the tour and just has blown everyone out of the water, winning 8 consecutive Women's Series events. So Bo Greaves then goes into second place, and we'll be seeing her at the World Championship.
What we should see here is Fallon Sherrock get a leg on the board.
100. Fallon, you require
127, and 6 starts to play with it if needed. May just stay up there. Yeah, good last start, because that could have got a little bit messy, but real good setup. Good leg from Sherrock. 12 darts thrown. He leaves tops and got to hang on to the coattails of Peter Wright.
60. Fallon, you require 40.
Yeah, and hopefully that will be a settler for Fallon Sherrock. 14 dart leg on the board.
Really good leg from Fallon. She knows she gets broke there. The game's basically done, isn't it? You go a couple of breaks down in a race to 5 against Peter Wright. You're as good as done, but that was a confident hold, 14 darts, and I said earlier on, a breaker throw
60.
when you're against the darts is very delicate, because you need one to get back in control. You're against the darts, you need a couple of breaks, don't you, if you go a break down, but Sherrock's playing okay here.
100.
Not a lot in the averages.
And obviously at these round robin stages, you don't have a lot of time, do you? Race to 5, you can just see the match kind of disappearing in front of you if you do need that break.
keep it to one break, and Peter Wright has started slowly here in the fourth leg.
56.
It's a bit of a trick there. Here we see 90 plays at 89. It's really below par for Peter Wright. Again,
43.
he's wobbling in this leg, Peter.
And a first 180 on the board there for Fallon Sherrock.
Doesn't leave a finish, but in control of the leg again. And Peter Wright has gone to sleep a little bit in this fourth leg. It's a better visit, but
34.
Sherrock's looking to tee up. It's a key shot for Fallon.
58.
Should have expected more, should have wanted more, but it is a finish. But expect some pressure from Peter Wright. Well, I say that. Bit of a mess that from Peter. Does leave a finish, but you'd expect Fallon to get 6 at this 107 if she needs him.
So here's a chance here for Peter Wright to hold his throne. Needs 2 trebles. So Fallon will be back for tops.
A good leg from Peter.
60. Fallon, you require 40.
To level us up. Peter took the opening 2 legs. It's a bit of a wild one. Oh, got to compose here. Edgy darts from Fallon. The first 2 in particular. The one at double 10 was unlucky, but this would be a real steal for Peter Wright. A 7th visit in the leg on his own darts. Wow. Good rescue. Can he complete it? And that's a great shot from Peter Wright. That will hurt. Yep, you can see. Shakes her head, Fallon Sherrock. She's missed a trick there. Peter Wright restores the 2-leg buffer.
It's a huge opportunity to have broken back.
100.
Now finds herself 2 legs adrift again.
Well, Lord, if Peter Wright's going to throw 21 darts, you've got to win that leg, haven't you? That represents a bit of a shocker for him, and there we see. Sherrock's missed 6 darts of doubles already.
60.
And they hurt. They do hurt them legs, particularly the way he took out the 80.
Yeah, you kind of get that niggling bit of hope, don't you? When the 1 goes in, you think, oh, he needs a treble now. I mean, obviously, Peter's more than capable of hitting a treble at any point, but just based on the performance in that 1 leg, you would have fancied your chances at coming back.
A game that Fallon will probably think should be 2 apiece. She doesn't concentrate here. It's all of a sudden 4-1. Peter's throwing to win 5-1, and it's important that she stays focused here.
And that's what we were saying earlier. The game can just disappear. It's such a short format.
As we said, winner faces Alan Souter tomorrow evening. He finished in style. The 145 to beat Nathan Aspinall. Loser will face Nathan. That's not the news you want, is it, when you lose your opening group game? Oh, by the way, you've got Nathan Aspinall tomorrow to try and stay in the event.
Yeah, no, it's not the easiest of games, is it, really?
Real tough group. Souter's done himself a massive favour. He's impressed with Alan. It was a scrappy game, but he got the job done. Lucky.
90.
Needs to hold on to Peter Wright here. And we'll get the chance to get within 1 again.
$134. Fallon, you require 56.
So 16. And just those single numbers. We've seen it so many times from players over the course of today.
Just double checking 49. This is big. Oh, wow, what a mess. We saw it with Nathan Aspinall earlier on. And now 15 remains, and
50.
that was just an absolute mess of a visit for Sherrock, and that could cost her the match there. Peter Wright for 4-1 and a double break. Wow, it's catching. This has got really edgy, this game, hasn't it, last couple of legs?
Yeah, you can feel that tension, but tops for Wright. And again, Peter Wright, he cleans up.
Peter Wright.
Again, Peter Wright offered hope with a big miss, but Fallon Sherrock.
Peter to throw first. Game on.
She's done a lot of good work here, and shaking her head, she knows. Just a lack of concentration in the legs, and that's how brutal it can be. Peter Wright throw in for a 5-1 victory, and he's only averaging just shy of 88.
And you know, as a player, you know, it happens, but you've got to feel for Fallon slightly. She's put herself in a position to win legs and just hasn't been able to capitalise on those opportunities.
She's getting annoyed now, isn't she? And why wouldn't you? You've missed starts of doubles, you missed big numbers on a couple of occasions.
60.
Peter Wright, it's just going to be a case of getting the job done and getting himself ready for the match with Alan Suter tomorrow.
60.
Good last start, and it's hard for Fallon now. She's on there and she knows, yeah, it's a smile, but
41.
Frustration's getting the better of her. She's played some good stuff here, but lack of quality at the back end of the legs is ultimately going to cost her.
140.
Yeah, Peter Wright here just comfortably ahead in this sixth leg.
140. Peter
The damage has been done.
78.
6 starts to 78 if he needs him. It's a complete victory here, Peter Wright.
38.
But he'll be back.
Peter report 40.
Finish the job. He gets there in the end. A real scrappy affair. Fallon Sherrock will be kicking herself. There was opportunities in the middle part of that match, but just not clinical enough. Peter Wright far from his best, averaging shy of 87, but he's off and running in this group. He will face Alan Suter tomorrow, who beat